Hello, everyone. We all age, but why and how does our body reflect these changes? One is that we start forgetting the things. The other one, we can say changes in our posture, movement, or reflexes. What happens with our body that starts developing these signs and symptoms with aging? Today, I'll talk about the aging-related changes that occur in our brain. When we are born, we have a fixed number of neurons with us, and we have to live our whole life with those fixed number of neurons. And if something goes awry with, or some changes happen in our brain cells, that then the cells start dying, then there is no other cells to replace their functions. And there comes the problem. Now let's talk about this problem in detail. Proteins are called workhorses of the cells. That means we talk, we walk, we think, we sing, we swim, we exercise. Whatever you can think of, we do all because of the proteins. And to perform all these functions, cells continuously synthesize thousands of different types of proteins inside the cells. At the same time, cells need to get rid of the old ones and the ones which are not performing their functions anymore. To perform all these tasks, cells have certain set of proteins, which we can call quality control group of proteins, which continuously keeps checking for abnormal changes happening in our protein repertoire and keep on monitoring all those changes by addressing the problems of synthesis, structure, or the degradation pathway. This is similar to what police department, law enforcement agencies, or judicial system does in our society, which keep the system in order under certain rules and regulations. Now you must be thinking, if we all have this quality control group of proteins inside the cells, then why do these abnormal changes occur? Then I would say, if we all have police or judicial system in place, then why do crimes happen? This statement itself has half of the answer. Let me elaborate a little more. We all know that despite all the rules and regulations, there are always some fringe elements in the society, which keeps threatening the law and order situation. In the same way, inside our cells, we all have all kinds of regulatory mechanisms. Still, certain group of proteins have tendency to aggregate or lose their structure and start misfolding and aggregate. Sometimes we call them amyloids. Sometimes they are even transmissible from one person to another or one animal to another, and the group of proteins are called prions, leading to large set of diseases. Now, we will understand what happens if these proteins start accumulating or misfolding inside or out of the cell areas. If we look at this picture, you can see lots of cellular debris are collected over time, both inside and outside of the cells. And it is obvious that we need to get rid of these debris as soon as possible to make the cells happy and healthy again. Sometimes cell division helps in diluting or get rid of these debris, and that's why new cells look more healthier than the old ones. But in case of neurons, as I already told you, they do not divide. So this option is already closed. In that scenario, cells invest a lot in maintenance, surveillance, and quality control functions. Unfortunately, during the stress conditions, mental or environmental changes, or because of the aging-related changes, these systems get overwhelmed, and our cells start accumulating protein aggregates inside the cells, or sometimes outside the cells. You can see here that with age, the balance between synthesis and degradation shifts, and abnormal accumulation of proteins may lead to different disadvantageous changes, like some neurons start dying and some brain areas look empty in this picture. If we want to understand this, I can tell you with an example. Just imagine a busy road. Let's say Connaught Place Circle in New Delhi. Imagine a situation if two cars strike or collide with each other in the middle of the road. What would happen with the traffic? Within a minute of time, I can think whole traffic would stop and long queue of cars, which we refer as traffic jam, occurs. We can easily assume a similar situation happening in our brain. Once there are large amount of debris sitting inside or just out of the cell, the whole cellular traffic in which all the cell molecules keep traveling from one location to another, the whole metabolic pathway inside the cells which keep running 24/7, they all get disturbed. and lots of abnormal changes happening inside to leading to collapse of the cellular system or loss of neurons. Since neurons do not divide, there are no mechanisms to replace those dying cells inside the brain. So what happens? The function assigned to those neurons get lost. For example, if there is a brain region that is specific for storage of memory, and if neurons start dying in that area, for example, hippocampus brain area in Alzheimer's disease, we will start forgetting things, or we will have hard time in recalling or retrieving the old stored memories, which is very common in old age, right? We start forgetting things like where did we keep our keys, right? So I would recommend you all watching a beautiful movie, Bollywood movie, You, Me or Hum, where Kajol played an Alzheimer patient's role beautifully. You will understand the severity of these conditions that I'm talking about. Same thing happen in many other diseases, where the brain areas which are responsible for movements have this degeneration problem. For example, Parkinson's disease, in which you can see the tremors or shivering hand of the people affected with these diseases. Another well-known disease is motor neuron disease. You all must be knowing or heard of the name of the famous physicist, Dr. Stephen Hawking. In the picture, you can see him. He had same disease, and he's one of the longest survivor. Almost 50 years he spent with this disease, and you can see that he was not able to move, even not to speak, but his brain and intellectual abilities were working fine. And so why I'm telling you all these is that the functions assigned to a particular brain area get affected or lost once the neurons of that particular area start dying. Now, you must be thinking that this person is talking about all the problems. Do we have solutions to? Then let me tell you that most of these diseases are still uncurable. We can only delay the symptom or try to extend the lifespan by improving the quality of life of the patients. How can we do that? Here is the answer. As I told you, many of these changes occur because of the overwhelming conditions of the quality control pathways during the aging or stress conditions. So one thing we can do is we can strengthen these armors, these protecting armors of ourselves to help ourselves live longer and have healthier life. The proteins which can pick the obnoxious elements and either dispose them into, you can say, jails where we can get rid of them, or they can be assigned to a counseling or rehabilitation centers where they can be treated or modified in a way that they can come back to the society. In brief summary of what I discussed till now, here you can see that certain group of proteins, we can say stressors, may mount stress conditions or attack neurons because of their abnormal behaviors. Whereas other group of proteins, protectors, keep on checking, monitoring, or policing all those criminals inside the cells and make the cellular environment clean so that the cells keep themselves healthy and live longer. This picture is another depiction where I have shown life in a playground, where all kinds of environmental stresses or mental or life-threatening circumstances or many other kinds of issues that you can assume all keep pushing your cellular quality control at one corner. But your cells have the responsibility and capacity to tackle all those changes and fight them back to keep yourself and your body healthy and make you live longer. As I did in my PhD at IIT Jodhpur, and many more labs are doing this piece of research, that we can identify small molecules occurring in plants or other natural sources to supplement our brain system with those small molecules, or you can say including several spices in your diet or many other components that we can supplement your diet with to fight these conditions. And these molecules can help your protectors to fight more efficiently and for a longer duration of your life. We identified small molecules that can enhance the efficiency of different protecting armors of our cells, which help the cells to fight back various changes and abnormal changes at the protein level. Later, I work with some nanoparticle-based groups, which can help in targeted or more efficient delivery of these small molecules to the specific locations where they are needed most. The idea is to enhance the delivery and target the specific locations of the brain. In this way, we can address many issues that are culminated over the years of our brain, of our long lifespan in our brain cells, and we can supplement our cells and our protein quality control machinery to fight all different stresses, including aging-related changes, accumulating change or changing environmental conditions, oxidative stress, high temperature-related stresses, high sound frequency waves related stresses, and all kinds of stresses can be dealt with more efficient manner by taking those situations and making your life easier and healthier. This is what I had to tell about my research work. I hope you enjoyed all the presentation, all the slides, and what I have talked to you. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email at the given email address. Thank you.